Hello, everybody. Welcome to the LOC podcast. Before we start, I want to do one quick exercise. If you won this week, please raise your hand.
No one can see.
I know. Mike, why aren't you raising your hand, bud?
Because I got screwed over. I hate LaShawn McCoy.
I'm Suicide Squad, the Team Money Nation. He's working really hard at the whiteboard and easy money. He's holding his chest right now. He's like, ugh, it's the gut shot.
Like, LaShawn McCoy ripped my heart out multiple times today. The guy can't catch.
Well, we'll get into that later, but we have a very loaded show. We are gonna get right into the injury report. Everyone's favorite segment. Well, we got a loaded injury report this week last week was pretty small, but the 2 weeks before were pretty big. This one might be just as big. Starting off with the Baltimore Ravens losing their QB and their running back. Fantasy implications, boys. What do you guys think?
Well, Flacco wasn't being started too much in our league. People would just kind of pick him up, drop him when someone was on a bye. With buys winding down, the Flacco one's not huge. I mean, obviously it kind of affects Baltimore their receivers,
overall,
tight ends, but they don't really have any with Steve Smith out. They didn't really have any the whole year. But Forsett for sure is huge. I mean,
yeah.
Garrity, Devenger's Age of Garrotron, whatever, he's losing players week after week, it almost seems like. What happens when Langford comes back, or Forte comes back, Langford's going to lose his job, probably.
More than likely.
So, I mean, yeah, I think for Forsett one's huge.
I've been hearing about Langford that when Forte comes back, they may be splitting carries. So just stay tuned on that.
But still, that takes a chunk out of his,
Team Money, everything to say about those injuries?
Nope.
Got nothing to say at all?
Nope.
Nothing
I'm
at all.
I'm actually just calculating the new standings, so...
All right, well, we'll just move on then. Devontae Freeman, concussion. Mike, what do you think, bud?
It's not, crazy. I think, Tevin Coleman works his way back in next week. Depending, concussions we've seen, I think, the most extreme one I've seen this year, this year, yeah. Carlos Williams was out, 3 weeks from a concussion, but then you see guys, that come back in 1 week. I don't know if he loses much of his workload, but we've said this kind of going, throughout the last couple weeks. Freeman's been kind of going, he's been kind of dropping down.
But before he got his concussion, he was, he got hurt on, a 30-yard run.
Yeah, and I mean, I think his, stat line was, 4 rushes for 45 yards or something, 3 for 40, something.
So, just assuming his team, it seems like he's getting back on track, he gets hurt. But I guess just on to the next one, we got the big daddy Charkandrick West with a leg strain or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's tweaked something. I don't know if that one's, out of all of these, I think that one's the least one we should worry. I think it's just day-to-day. You don't really need to worry about that.
It would be something to keep an eye on.
It's something to monitor for sure. And, again, that's on Age of Garrotron's team. And, maybe it's something that lingers throughout the year, so we see his numbers drop down, but running backs this year just have been getting hit hard, for sure.
Last one just happened. My boy, Mr. Stickman himself, Danny Amendola, going down with a knee injury.
Yeah, just a guy that's totally
he literally wasn't even playing when he got hurt. He literally was just waving off the punt.
Yeah, just kind of a player that always gets hurt.
I just don't know how you do that.
Well, and look at what he had 100+ yards. You can almost expect that, I'd say, every week from him. Patriots' weapons are really going down the drain.
Short white guys.
Yeah, a lot of them. But you see tonight, only put up 20 points. They need their weapons, and they're just dropping. So I think that one's big too.
All right, well, that's all I have for the injury report, unless you got any more.
No, those were the kind of the key ones. Tony Romo didn't re-injure anything. I think he's kind of still
he's just not practice. I was looking at him
but he doesn't practice Wednesday either. I just was saying more for that one, coming back from an injury. He wasn't re-injured at all during the game.
Yep. I guess we'll just go straight into weekly awards, then we'll go into matchups. We'll just be doing, our casual MVP done surprise pick of the week. And
before you transition, I just want to give the league a quick rundown of current standings.
You know what? Tyler's been really working hard the last 20 minutes, so I'm going to let him. We'll
let him bless.
You have the floor.
So in the North, we have a new leader. Currently, I think it's been Devengers, right?
Avengers the whole year.
Yeah.
But Gigrich took over this week because a big week for Gigrich. Not really.
Not really. Just
Horrible week from Gigrich. But Defenders had even a worse week. So Gigrich is 8-3 at 1146 point wise. And then the number 2 seed in the playoffs right now would be Team Chuba at 8-3, and he's in the South.
So they both have buys then.
Yeah.
How many points does Chuba have?
He has 1-1-4-4, so he's 2 points
Oh
behind Team Gigrich. And then number 3 in the playoffs would be Devengers at 8-3, 1071. So I mean, not too far behind, but good enough. And then 4th seed Show Me the Money at 6-5 at 1060. Statum's also at 6-5, but he's at 1027.
Okay.
And then number 6, Easy Money at 990, but closely behind him is T Money Nation, 5-6 as well, with 599 or 955.
599.
So
wait, and then what about?
And then
Swine Dog.
Rhinos behind me behind T Money Nation, 5-6 with 924,
Okay.
and then Team Swanson's at 858. 5-6.
So
really,
it would go you, Rhino, then Swanson.
And that's what I said. 7
Yeah.
is me. Rhino's at 8 and Swanson's at 9. But we're obviously all tied, and so it's literally going to come down to these last 2 weeks for I'd say the 6th spot, but also maybe the 4th and 5th spot too, depending on.
Because these are like set in stone if you think about it. Because let's say Easy Money, that's me myself, is at like the 6th spot right now. Like let's say I win out, but also you win out. But if you put up more points than me, you're gonna jump me.
Yeah, and in saying so too, Team Gigrich, Team Chuba, and Devengers all clinched the playoffs this week.
After this
because they're all going to be 8-3,
And
then
no one can finish our 8 wins.
Yeah, number 6 team is at 5-6.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you won those last 2 games, you'll have only 7 wins.
So they pretty much clinched no matter what. Even if I would have won tonight, they still would have.
Well,
Maybe.
They're
Because then if you would have won tonight, you would have 6 wins.
Yeah.
Well, and who are you playing this week?
Rhino.
Okay, no, so you would have 6 wins, so you still could have caught them because
I could have
7 and 8.
caught them,
Yeah.
but no one could have.
Yeah,
no one could have dropped out.
Yeah, no,
No one could have
so
dropped
they
out.
would. Yeah, so this was the week they for sure clinched it, and then the teams that are for sure out now:
Champ Daddy and me.
Suicide Squad.
I'm out.
Team Champ Daddy, and I think Bossman Jr. too lost it after this week because
What's
lost.
his record?
So he'll
He's
be
4-7.
4-7. So I mean, there's a slight
So
possibility.
he would need to win out and get a lot of help.
I think,
somehow.
but no, I also think though, like he would have to win out, so that would give him 6-1. Yeah, because he could still tie. No
He could
matter
still get a
what,
spot.
the reason like Team Champ Daddy and Suicide Squad were eliminated because I believe Swanson.
There's gonna be for sure 2 6-win teams,
Yeah.
so we can't.
Yeah,
we
so
can't catch anybody.
yeah, so that's kind of the current standing. Just a
So it's really going to come down to these last couple weeks, which will be fun to watch. Because if you think about it, too, all those teams from like 6 through 9, they're all only trailing the 4 and 5 seeds by 1 game also. So those teams need to win out too. That would be Swanson and Team Show Me the Money. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch down the stretch here.
Are you all done there, Ty?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
All right. Hey, that was a nice job, bud.
Thank you.
Very nice job. Weekly awards. MVP dud. Surprise pick. Start with MVP. Mike Dopp, take it away, bud.
Yeah, for my MVP, comes out of the Team Swanson Team Money Nation matchup. I had Carson Palmer. Just because, I mean, going into the night, Team Money Nation was down 31 points, and he needed pretty much all that to come out. Obviously, you're assuming your quarterback's going to put up a lot. He also had Larry Fitzgerald, but Carson Palmer himself put up 34 and pretty much clinched it. And like we said, huge week with playoffs and stuff, and that was a must-win for Team Money Nation on Sunday night there.
Wow. Well,
As Ben,
as I'm scrambling,
I stole Ben.
but I have mine.
Okay. I hope
So-
it's not coming out of the same game.
Well, no, it's not coming out of the same
Okay,
game.
good.
I'm just trying to find it.
We don't really discuss these beforehand.
All right, so here I'm going Thomas Rawls, I think he was the highest score. Highest score.
Who dat nation?
I think he scored the most points in the entire league.
He might have because Cam Newton I know for sure put up like 40 this week.
Cam put up 40.
So highest non-QB.
Is hiding on his bench.
Just hiding down there. Thomas Rawls. Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere. Lynch was not going to play.
That's like a late scratch.
And that's another one on the injury report. Lynch might be done for a while. Might need sports hernia surgery. So Rawls.
That was a good pickup. And I was talking to him tonight. He said he picked him up like even before he was like.
Yeah, he had him.
He's had him since like Marshawn Lynch was hurt like over the season. So yeah, huge week, and I pretty much.
For me, I think it was well, of course, it's going to come from the T-Money Nation Team Swanson game. I think it was James Jones for me. I mean, 18 points for James Jones is good. That means Aaron Rodgers was back in business, as well as James Jones. Early in the season, James Jones and Cobb were doing good. But then the middle part, neither of them got really any action. But now I think it's starting to pick up again. And James Jones, 18 points, another guy who kept me in the game. And also Cam Newton, a 40-point week.
He didn't play.
We'll just say for fantasy owners.
Yeah, for fantasy owners, hey, way to go.
He's just a
I want to give a big shout out to my boy Jameis Winston. I think he put up the same amount of points as Cam this week. Or at least close to.
Who had Jameis?
Jameis has I put up 39 and Cam put up 40.
Show me the money he has. Jameis Winston. Okay, I will go with
Dud.
Can I just go with the surprise?
Hey, we can go straight to surprise.
Okay, so usually a surprise is like someone that puts up a lot of points, correct? Like, oh, this guy's random, he put up a lot of points. I'm going with Tom Brady as my surprise. He only put up, what did he put up this week?
Like 17 or something like that.
Yeah, Tom Brady had been putting up like huge numbers. I think like last week he put up 22, which was his low, and it just keeps dropping, and that's just kind of like what I mentioned with the injury report with Amendola going down. More players on that team are affected more, and Tom Brady, I feel like his points are just going to continue to decline for sure. So
are we doing stud?
Well, we were doing MVP, and then we skipped to surprise. Then we're gonna go back to dud.
So this week it's surprise. Now it's surprise right now. Okay.
We're on surprise right now. My surprise is Doug Martin. Put up like 235 rushing yards. As soon as I think he's out of it, he just comes right back on. But I think you're going to see Doug Martin as the biggest boomer bust player in on all of fantasy right now.
Yeah, I think if you like run through his points, like I'm not even looking at it, but just off the top of my head, I know it's like 4, like 25, like 3, 7, like 35. Yeah, it's just like
Doug Martin's the biggest boomer bust, and like he did it against Philadelphia's defense isn't awful, and like they freaking ran right all over him the whole game.
If you think of like most points like left on the bench, I'm pretty sure Devengers and probably T-Money Nation, just because he had Cam Newton, probably left the most amount of points on their bench. But you have also Carson Palmer.
Okay, what do you got for surprise, Ty?
I'm just kind of flipping through the league casually. I'm gonna kind of actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm actually gonna go with another one, like kind of how Mike did it. He picked one, not a surprise like in a good way, but a surprise in a bad way.
Well, you can do that. Go for it.
Is Derek Carr. I totally thought he would put up a lot more points against Detroit than he did. He only put up 6 points this week to kind of our team Show Me the Money the
historically low
probably
points.
One of the worst performances of all time I've ever seen. And so, I mean, if he would have at least thrown a touchdown, that would have boosted the score a little bit, but definitely a surprise.
I would kind of like to see a Devengers Age of Garrotron versus Team Show Me the Money matchup this week, a 47-38 win. That would have been nice.
I think the reason why you're seeing, Detroit played pretty well against Aaron Rodgers. I think it's because, the switch of D coordinator.
Uh-huh.
It's
trendy.
It's pretty evident.
Detroit Lions, they're a free agent out there.
They're somewhere out there.
Okay, I'll go with my dud of the week then, if that's the one we're on.
Why do you get to start every time?
Because I want to hit Phillip Rivers. I want to hit Phillip Rivers. So
Mike literally read off of my sheet and took all my players.
I'm going to start this time. We're going to go reverse.
Thanks,
I'm going to start with Sharkhandrick West.
Okay, it's Chark.
I call him Sharkhandrick.
Say Gary. Hold on. For our viewers, just say Gary Barnage, please.
Gary Barnage.
Barnich.
That's always a Barnich.
But yeah, I think past 3 weeks he's been playing well, and I know he kind of got banged up, but and pretty much, to be honest, everybody on Garrotron's team, Sammy Watkins, great week.
I think his high scorer was the kicker. He made a joke about Suicide Squad the other week. I think Justin Tucker might have led him in scoring.
All right, well, my dud is Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers. I'm
a huge Phillip Rivers fan.
I said before his bye, with him losing all of his weapons, his stock is just completely gone the toilet. They have no running game. Their top receiver is like Stevie Johnson, who's not awful, but not a number one at all. And they just don't have one to throw to, and that's just hurting him completely. Like, he threw like 30 passes and only got like 100.
And just a quick question for Team Chuba. Quarterback's doing well this week, buddy.
That wasn't a question.
It was a comment, and I'm saying that offer's still on the table. So if you want a great Cam Newton or a great Carson Palmer's, come yelping up my tree.
Yes, just a little quick fantasy advice. As far as my dud of the week, it was going to be Phillip Rivers. Ben stole it. I would go with Kirk Cousins. Team Swanson really needed a big game out of his quarterback this week, and he would have probably won if Kirk Cousins puts up like a week. I know they played like New Orleans last week. Obviously, it was a big week. If he puts up like a 20, 25 range, he wins this weekend. It was like a huge week.
I mean, he started off pretty good. He threw that bomb to Deshaun Jackson.
He's playing against one of the best D's in the league.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, he only.
But they were minus like Charles Tillman. I'm just saying, like, at the beginning of the game, like, he was like throwing all over him, and then all of a sudden, it just like.
I'm just saying, what has Kirk done all year? Like last week.
I wouldn't call him a dud. Okay, Mike, you got right to pick him, but like, I wouldn't call him a dud just because he's just not like.
He's not. I don't even think.
And I expected him to be this not me on 9.
I don't either. But like a 9 out of anyone is.
Well,
awful.
Okay, fine. I was thinking maybe a 15, so 6 points off.
I don't know.
I mean, he's not like if Tom Brady had a week like him or Aaron Rodgers. That's kind of it. But Kirk Cousins, it's like, I mean, what did you? Really
you know what? Hey.
No, I think just with like his weapons there, and like we said, like Charles Tillman didn't play there. Really, Carolina's only good corner back then without Charles.
It's Josh Norman.
Well, and it's not always.
He can't guard Pierre Garçon, Jordan Reed.
It's not Jackson. Always. Maybe they were bringing a lot of pressure.
But it's also a product of the fact that they got absolutely blown out. They weren't even like trying at the end of the game too.
Mm-hmm. And like Kirk Cousins averages like 20 points a week, so a 9. Even though it's like, it's a great Carolina D.
I think 20 points is pushing it. I don't think he's.
No, it's 19.2, but that's just about 20.
Oh, I mean, I guess he had that one big week, but then a bunch.
And he's had like a 35. So I mean. I don't know, like a dud for me more is considered like someone on your team that you really needed like a big week out of. They put up like nothing. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm fine with that pick. I don't have any problem with that pick. You can take that pick if you want. So I guess do you want to run through the matchups real quick?
Just kind of like break them down.
All right, we'll just start with Gingrich versus Garrotron.
I had really crappy matchups, honestly.
Combined for a solid 113 points, 16 points. That's pretty good.
I just think, obviously Big Benjamin wasn't playing this week, and he probably should have started Doug Martin. But in saying that, it's like I think his team's kind of, Justin Forsett.
He done, man.
Broken arm. Would you not listen to the injury report? This is why you listen to it, so you actually can know this stuff.
I think the really big thing too, like. It was low scoring too, like Team Gingrich didn't have Antonio Brown. But Devenger's AJ Garrotron just...
I think his team's falling apart, to be honest.
It is.
I know that's what we're saying, like Charkandrick West, it's worth monitoring if he's going to keep playing. Jeremy Langford, who he's starting, once Forte's back, split carries at best, and then he's without Forsett now. The depth's really going down the drain.
And his wide receivers are, like, they were good at the beginning of the year, but they've all, like, kind of just cooled off.
Well, which is kind of weird because a couple weeks back, I feel like we were talking like very certain on some teams, like about the playoff, their road to the Super Bowl or whatever. But I feel like now, if you made the playoffs, I think anything could happen.
For sure. It's like I've been quoted on the show for saying if you can just get in the playoffs, I mean, like
you just have to. You literally just have to win 3 games.
Just get in,
or 2, or even 2.
Yep, and you could somehow get like matched up. Like let's say even if I'm thinking, honestly, in my opinion, Team Gigrich gets in as the 1 seed. The Avengers is like a 3 seed. What if by that time his team is very depleted, like no more Jeremy Langford, Charkandrick West is out? That would be an ideal matchup for like the 6th seed. That's
like for sure too. Because what about last year? Or what's Sanders?
Yeah, that's exactly
Sanders was
what I
number
was
2
thinking.
seed, and he didn't have to play anybody, and then he got the worst teams.
I played. That was my I had to get past a big weekend. I played the 4, and then I played him, who was the 2 seed. He had the bye. He was the 2 seed. You're thinking, oh, okay, the 2 seed should have this,
but it was Sanders.
Yeah, and I was the 6th seed, and I was able.
Well,
to
and a lot of
escape
these
that.
guys on these teams that are doing good throughout the season, they've just had crazy stat lines throughout the year. But I feel they're human beings. They're not going to maintain that. Every game, you're not going to put up as a quarterback 30 or 40 points. Just not going to happen. So the weeks where Brady doesn't put up many points, or Phillip Rivers, just a crap game. It's now these teams are starting to finally show their colors. Whereas I don't know, it's now I look at Garrity's team, it doesn't even look like he has depth anymore.
No, and he's gonna have to. I'd say probably start Big Ben, but then Big Ben's against Seattle. They still play Denver, and then Phillip Rivers obviously is in the same division. They haven't played Denver yet. I don't know. That's enough probably for that matchup.
So on to Team Chuba and Team Show Me the Money, put up a combined 111. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't think too much to even say about this.
Derek Carr, horrible week.
Show me the money.
Chris Ivory, horrible week. Lamar Miller, horrible week.
Chris Ivory, at the beginning of the year, running over everyone, running like crazy. Now, I don't know. He's very streaky, honestly.
I would say maybe. Wonder who Tampa Bay plays next week.
Tampa Bay.
Because maybe Show Me the Money should start Winston.
Yeah, Winston's so also kind of streaky.
Erratic, but same with Carr. Carr, he'll give it you 20 points maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if you can even trust. Yeah, I don't know who I would trust more, Derek Carr or Jameis Winston, honestly.
Tampa Bay plays at Indianapolis next week.
Yeah, and then Derek Carr at Tennessee. I honestly think Tennessee's D is better than they're given.
No, they're pretty decent. I really can't name one player on their team, but they keep on.
Well, and then looking at these two teams though for future reference for playoffs, they both have really good records, but it's
I think they got their wins early.
Yeah, it's okay. Looking at both these teams, I don't know if, especially Devontae. I know he just got a concussion, but I don't think he's going to produce what he's been producing all year.
Well, Team Chuba's team, he had a lot of he kind of still has depth at running back a little bit. Receiver, though, it's Devontae Adams for the Green Bay has been banged up all year. You cannot rely on him. He'll probably go down.
Sanders has been out.
And then Emmanuel Sanders has been out, so it's really Allen Robinson has been consistent for him, which is nice.
And a good tight end, kind of.
Yeah, and then
very good.
But quarterback play for him throughout, going.
Yeah, that's
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, or Tyrod Taylor. Hey,
but I think he got pretty banged up too. It looked like tonight, with his collarbone.
But I think he's just gonna start Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and if he can carry you through the playoffs, then so be it. But I just don't see that. Same with Show Me the Money. You're right with your running backs. I don't think they're gonna put up the numbers they have been putting up. Good receivers, but I don't think the running backs and the quarterback depth will carry you through. You don't have a good top of the lineup.
Yeah, so
and it was apparent this week.
Really, it looks almost to me the league's almost evening out.
For sure, right now it's just
all
the good teams are just starting to fall off, and all the bad teams are starting to kind of win a little bit.
They're just gonna win the games they need. Yeah, for sure.
On to the next one, the heartbreaker match of the week, Easy Money at the Rhino Wreckage.
Yeah, I don't really want to touch on this too much.
I'm just gonna say Easy Money was down 19 points. Couldn't need 19 points to. If you got 19 points, you would have won the bench points. LeSean McCoy put up 18.
Well, I'm just saying.
And also he dropped it. Catching the end zone.
I'm just saying, welcome to our world. Games like this happen. It's
yeah, and that's what I kind of
you could have
mentioned. You
guys could have put up more points. Bortles, what a crap week.
And I mentioned you guys this at the beginning of this before we started. I lost week 1. No, I beat my dad, Team Champ Daddy, by 1. It's just fantasy. It's yeah, you can say too. It could have started. I could have started this guy. I could have started this guy. But you lose some close games, you win some close games.
Yeah.
But it's really, at this point of the season, though, it was like, yeah, I need to win
And
that.
for your team, I think you have pretty good running backs, I would say, but receivers, I mean,
Mainly just Thomas right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Or in the quarterback, I mean, who else do you? Oh, Tony Romo, I guess. I would probably start him from here on out. Bortles.
Bortles just like inconsistent. I'm kind of like jumped on the train too late with him. I think it was good at the beginning of the year. Teams have seen him too much.
I'm gonna say Bortles is a little overrated in that aspect because the Jags are like he was like throwing touchdowns in those games he was getting blown out in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Tampa Bay, I think he put up like a 35-point week. Like 20 of those came in like the garbage time.
Well,
but
and I think-
also, go ahead.
Oh, and I think for Rhino Wreckage,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think about his
I
game?
don't think he's gonna do. Like, I think he's just been getting, especially from Hopkins. Like
Hopkins has been carrying his team.
Yeah, Hopkins is good, but it's like then you got the duo from
Denver.
Denver, and I like Deshaun Jackson had a good week, but does he usually have a good
No,
week?
I mean, it's
Well,
like,
he's been
if he gets that one catch, he's gonna have a big week.
I said it was like he's gonna have one catch for like 50 yards and like it was a touchdown this week.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like the past couple weeks, Rhino's kind of been getting maybe a little lucky.
Oh yeah,
Well,
for sure. Like it's
So
like,
I think he'll be out of the playoffs. I don't.
well,
think
like
he'll
think
even
about
make
it.
the
Even
playoffs.
last week, like he needed DeAndre Hopkins to come through,
And he didn't do anything.
one-handed catch. You know, DeAndre Hopkins has been carrying his team. Me and Ben were though talking like Rhino Wreckage lost Jamal Charles and Keenan Allen, like two of the best at their positions.
I don't know how. It's just like
Still in, but I think he's more of.
he's a hit or miss team because you've seen it. Like the weeks he put up 90 this week, and he put up like 120 against Utah. And then he puts up like next week like 50 or last week he put up like 75. It's just
I'm just calling it right now. I think next week, Team Gigrich is going to knock him out of the playoffs.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say when we were talking about the standings. Like, I was gonna ask you. I mean, what teams do you think will be knocked out next week? I haven't really looked at the schedule that far, but
I think
there's four of us fighting for it. I think two of us will be knocked out next week. Honestly.
okay. Just you look at the schedule. We'll go on the next matchup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll
next
figure out.
matchup, Statham at Bossman Jr. Statham with the most points in the league this week. I got huge performances out of the Seattle duo, Mr. Wilson and Mr. Rawls. Carry him to a victory.
I think I think Statham has a pretty good team, especially with Russell Wilson playing East, but also.
But this team I'm worried about too because look at his receivers. Like they put up a combined 5 this week. Like that Oakland duo.
Yeah, but I think he has the running backs. That's where he.
I think it's gonna completely hinge on if Rawls can take over that starting gig and
he has D'Angelo Williams. I mean,
he had one bad week. I guess it's just kind of just to see what happens.
Oh, you said you don't like his receivers?
I'm saying that Oakland duo could hurt him.
Yeah.
Because when they don't score, they're not going to do
And
it.
it's just I don't know. Usually they do pretty well for him. So if Derek Carr and the Oakland, I think in the last few weeks the Oakland Raiders have kind of been going downhill. Like a big loss to the Vikes, and then they lost to Detroit this week.
I think they'll find their footing.
Yeah, I hope if they do, I think he's the team to beat in the playoffs. To be honest, right now, just looking at him, he also has Andy Dalton, who's a pretty good quarterback. But then,
but it's run down a full strength lineup.
But look at that team. That's a great team. Dalton,
Rawls and Williams, Crabtree and Cooper, Gronk, probably Danny Wood. I don't Danny Wood put up 0, but he's probably not going to do that again. Wood in his flex, Panthers defensive Blair Walls.
That's a good team.
It's a solid team,
especially if those Raiders receivers.
And I was saying especially if Rawls can if he can take that starting role away from Lynch, and I think he can.
Well, and even if one of the Raiders receivers does well, if Crabtree does say puts up 20 and then Cooper just puts up 5, that's 25 combined for him. So that's pretty good still,
Mm-hmm.
So I to be honest, I would be intimidated by Team Statham. So to be honest, I don't think I played in the last 2 games, and I'm hoping I don't because I think he would kick my butt.
Yeah, I think like you said with those receivers, Oakland just played terrible this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Like you see like with this team, like, they put up like a -5, he's still over 100. So.
Yeah, exactly. But Rawls isn't going to be good enough.
He won't be putting out like in close to 40 every week. That's just not going to happen. But okay, next one, Swanee Dog and Team Money Nation. Team Money Nation taking the win on Sunday night with a big Carson Palmer day.
Well, and to be honest, if I would have started Cam 2, I would have won anyways. So, I mean, either or.
Well, I'm just saying, like, going to Sunday night,
I think,
it wasn't looking good at first.
Yeah,
he picked it up.
I feel like for Team Money Nation, you know, the guys on my team don't always come through, and it's nice seeing Eddie Lacy pick it up, because this week I started Antonio Andrews and TJ Yeldon. Usually Yeldon does well for me. Antonio Andrews kind of hit or miss. So I feel like if I can insert Lacy back into the lineup,
and if he can play well,
and he keeps playing well, then I think I'll be set, because Larry Fitzgerald, one of the top receivers in the league, quote me if I'm wrong, but he's one of the top in the league. And James Jones, if he can come on and do well, that's good. Decker's pretty good receiver, as well as what's the status on Elshon?
Just probably sitting out 1 week. But the problem that we're running into is just like
He plays
when he was hurt, like at the beginning of the season, it was like, oh, it's just like he's just gonna be out this week, but then he was out the next week, then the next week, then the next week. It's just like we don't have a clue.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I think I have a decent team. It's just kind of one of those wild card teams, like you don't know.
No, I think you have a deep team, but it's all gonna hinge on if Alias and James Jones can keep it up. I really don't know at this point if they can.
And Swanee Dog, I think his team is pretty decent too. I mean,
his team would be good if he actually picked people up.
He doesn't keep up with it, but he has AP, McFadden, Brandon Marshall, Terrence Williams. Like, I mean, all these guys put up points.
Terrence Williams, that's like his first good week all year.
Well, but and then quarterback. I mean,
but with Tony Romo back, Terrence Williams. I mean,
I think he'd be
he's
like
capable
a flex.
of getting a touch.
Like throwing Cooks back in there, and then I just think he's just kind of. I think it's going to come down to QB play.
Yeah,
I just because he doesn't have the. I mean, I don't know if he wants to shoot you a trade or anything. Because he doesn't have good running backs.
Kirk, yeah, he has no QB. I mean, unless Manning comes back.
Manning was not even playing this week.
But he's not playing. So.
Well, I say eventually if he comes back, but you know.
But by then, Swanson's going to be out because I predict him to be out next week.
So pick up Brock.
And Swanson plays Chuba next week, so.
Yeah, so can we just run through, that's all the matchups, correct?
Now we got one more, the consolation bracket game.
Can we skip over this one this week?
Sorry, but Suicide Squad and Team Champion.
Yeah, I mean, irrelevant game.
Yep.
Kind of.
No, I'm going to talk about it. Sorry, boys. I won. Ha.
Alright, so to the matchups, to the schedule now. So like Tyler had mentioned, the teams that are 5 and 6, easy money, Team Money Nation, Rhino and Swanson will all be 5 and 6, and then the teams that are 6 and 5, I also was gonna look up their schedules because of the.
Well, okay, so next week Rhino plays Gigrich. So like I said, I think that will be a loss for Rhino. Swanson plays Chuba.
Yep, Swanson, Chuba.
And Bossman Jr. plays Team Money Nation.
Yep.
And Easy Money plays Team Champ Daddy. So to be honest, I think the two that will win is Team Money Nation and Easy Money.
But then what's interesting to look at, Show Me the Money plays Team Statham. So if they're both
tied.
If we both win and then one of them will lose, we will also move into the tie with them.
But I think they'll have more points than us.
They will, but then it makes it interesting because Team Statham, if he were to lose to Show Me the Money, he does have Team Chuba the last week of the year. So Team Chuba's not bad. And then so the last week of the season then, let's just say it comes down to
Team Money Nation plays Team Show Me the Money. Oh, Easy Money plays Avengers. Team Swanson.
Swanson's against Bossman Jr. and then Rhino's against Champ Daddy. So it's just like 1 week, two of us have like an easier matchup, than the week after we have tougher matchups. So it's really, but I honestly kind of want to, I think with Show Me the Money and Team Statham playing each other kind of makes it even more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of some stuff to look forward to this next week.
Yelper.
All right. Fill in the blank Monday to wrap it up, boys.
What does that mean?
It's our new segment we're debuting because you couldn't understand overreaction Monday.
Okay, let's see.
So fill in the blank Monday.
I don't think any of America could understand that game.
Okay, fill in the blank. So I'm just going to get, simple. You just fill in the blank.
Okay.
And just try to keep it as short as you can.
PG
No
rating.
explanations or anything. We're just filling in the blank.
Okay, let's go.
Blank happened when Show Me the Money put up 38.
Oh,
Blank happened when Show
nothing happened.
Oh.
What do you got, Ty?
Team Stadium got happy.
Happened. That makes sense.
I just say nothing happened because he put up
Literally
38.
nothing
Literally
happened.
did
I'm
anything.
gonna say hell froze over. Happened. When?
Oh, that makes sense. How froze over happened.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Okay, this is like a twofold question. Blank happened when Garrity put up 58. Mine is alcohol happened because he probably cracked it open a beer because his team's going down the toilet. Boom.
That was intense. What does that even mean?
His computer was down. Happened. He didn't start Doug Martin. I think he should have.
Big Ben was on a bye happened.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Other than Freeman and Brady, blank was the best draft pick this year in fantasy football.
Wait, what were the two ones?
Other than Freeman and Brady.
Antonio Brown. He's been picked in the first
Tom
round.
Brady.
Yeah, when
Is
Brady
this how the
Quinn.
segment goes?
Okay, I'm just gonna go DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like-
I just
like
say
top
Antonio.
three.
I just say Antonio Brown because picked in the first round.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Look at how many first round picks have went down. Antonio Brown hasn't.
But I'm also saying DeAndre Hopkins is gonna be like he's like a top 2 receiver, and he was taken like third. Or fourth
I say
round.
Larry Fitzgerald
Top
just
three,
because
I'd
of the point, like, kind of like a Devontae Freeman, like, nobody expected him to be good.
But the underlying key there, he's on his team.
Yes,
Yes.
he's winning me games.
All right, now I'm just gonna give you. This is just 2 simple ones.
Holy
Blank will win the Super Bowl. Like which team will win? Like
Packers.
No, easy. Fantasy football.
Oh.
Two-part question. I'll get the second
So we
part.
can have 2 people in this?
No.
Team-
2-part after this one. I'll get the second
Team
part.
Statham.
Gigrich.
Gigrich.
Statham.
Blank will win the consolation bracket.
Not Suicide Squad.
Boss man.
Rhino.
Suicide Squad.
I kind of like the segment.
Alright, I like Swanson too in this. Yeah, I like him in this.
Wait, quickly here. Who other than yourself do you want to like win the Super Bowl in our league? Like who would
do
you
we
want to
wanna
see?
win?
You can't pick yourself.
Not Statham.
Ben's not going to be in the playoffs. So
Okay,
who would you want to see other than yourself win?
I really want to see Chuba win. I love you, buddy.
Okay.
Not Chuba. I'm going through the lineup. Not Chuba. Oh, to be honest, I'd like Team Gigrich.
Okay, and I would kind of like to see Team Swanson. I like to see someone that doesn't really pay attention. He wouldn't even know if he won. We'd have to
We
let him
wouldn't even have to
know.
mail him the money.
No.
We can split the money.
I just don't want
But actually,
Statham
no.
because me and Statham are like rivals for life. Team Chuba, just because he doesn't make trades when need be. Garrity, hate his guts.
Wow.
Holy
Give me
crap.
Garrity. I
Easy
love
money,
you.
though?
I love you. Easy money, no, because you always think you win. And you think you're good.
That made no sense. You always think
It's
you
true.
win.
I always think
That
like
makes-
I like to bring up the facts that I have
Team
been
Show
in
Me
the
the Money,
championship
he's been
3
playing for
years.
like 30 years. Retired.
Oh, just, I'd like to also just
Well.
point out Tyler likes to give a lot of good advice that he thinks. I mean, in his opinion, Chuba needs to make more trades. In his opinion, Team Show Me the Money needs to retire.
In his opinion.
Maybe they should.
Wait, good point. I mean, if Chuba thinks he can win the Super Bowl with 83 points a week, be my guest.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 week.
Shout out. I'd just like to give if this is the portion where he gives shout outs, I'd like to give a shout out to Case Keenum, healthy recovery, quick
Yeah, dude.
recovery.
That was cold. That was really cold what they did to you on that field. Dude.
I was gonna pick you up and
And the only reason
just watching the replay. Ouch, buddy.
Okay, and then just to wrap it up real quick, just gonna recap.
Okay, we've been wrapping it up for the past hour.
We've been wrapping. Actually, we're gonna wrap it up now. So we're gonna recap. Our lock and our upset. Well, Tyler didn't pick one because he ditched us.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
lock and upset. I went 2-0, I believe. Actually, I think Mike has the no card, so you'll bring it to us. Ty, I really hope you win.
Why are you shaking my hand, man?
I want you to.
Yeah,
win.
for our locking, let's update those quick standings here. We have like a quick minute before ESPN kicks us out. So Ben's lock this week was Team Statham. Is that a 1-0?
That's a 1-0.
Upset was Suicide Squad. He
That's
likes
a
to pick his own team.
1-0.
2-0 then. So Ben's updated standings 2-2. I picked Lock, T-Money Nation, correct. Upset.
Bossman, no.
Bossman, no. So I'm at 3-1. Tyler, he picked the lock was himself, and then he picked an upset of. Oh, he also did Bossman. So Tyler's at 2-2, and then our guest is Eric Chuba. He picked a lock of me. Our guests have been picking locks of me a lot, and they're wrong. So he went. And then you have an upset Bossman Jr. So our guest 0-4. So shout out to whoever our guest is Thursday.
Okay.
We don't know yet.
Okay, it's gonna be a surprise guest because I'm gonna be flying solo.
That's a good point. We will not have a guest because I will be the guest. Happy Thanksgiving. Ben will be doing just for a Thanksgiving treat. Ben will have his own show that week. So I think that about wraps it up. Hopefully,
we're just gonna go back to the smooth.
Hopefully next week we can all pick it up and get some wins. Good night, America. Good night, Kato.